What is going on, guys? Today we are looking at Amavi. He has managed to win the vote and get himself a 94 upgrade, and most definitely a cracking upgrade, a plus 10 from his headliner card that we managed to get up to 84. He started the game at a 78 common. He managed to get one in form throughout the year, to be honest, and then obviously now we've got a cracking left back. And I think in terms of League One, it's a fantastic need, really. Obviously we get the strong link to Bamba, another nice team of the season. Obviously a player of the month in Mbappe, if that is what you've chose, then obviously you get a nice strong link there, and he's up and down a pitch. The stats are pretty fantastic. I think you probably again could play this card pretty much in most positions around the defence. Obviously in terms of his height, he is only 5'9", so centre-back's probably off the cards. I would suggest going for an anchor, if anything. That will give you a 97 rated left-back, or centre-back, right wing-back, a 96 CDM, 92 CM, 93 left mid. You get my drift. There is a lot of positions. He is left-footed, which is always brilliant for this kind of card. Obviously being a left-back, I hate left-backs that are right-footed. Just a little kind of little niggle of mine, but he looks fantastic. So we've got great pace. To be honest, he's got a little bit of shot power. It's going to be an overlap in left back, if anything. His dribbling looks fantastic. 94 on the base is unreal. Great agility, balance, the reaction, the ball control, the dribbling is all up there. And we do have 90 composure, which is fantastic. Defending and obviously physical, again, will be pretty much maxed out with that anchor, alongside 99 pace. So this card has just gone from a mediocre, very rarely used 84 into a starting left back. I think most definitely being objective based, you've got to go do this card regardless. 94s, 95s, 96s, you've just got to go doing objectives. It's just so silly not to grind the game, especially when it's only 8 games to do him. You've got to get him out and get him done. Obviously I believe you can do Tonali and him together. I haven't quite checked that just because I've done both separate, but Amavi is incredible. Let's jump in, see what it's all about. Straight into him down this field here. Get that little pass off. He's offside. Great start. Let's try this again then. We obviously have somebody who can run all the way down. It's going to be linking with Bamba, and that's a solid ball. Dink it over into R9. Get that little volley that wasn't great. Managing to try and nick it away from Llorente. Does actually make the tackle. How on earth Llorente's managed to keep that there? Even jumps over Maldini, spins Ramos. Honestly, what on earth has he done to this Llorente? The one thing I do like about Amavi is obviously that 5-star weak foot is a absolute peach to have. But again, the 3-star skills would have been nice just to have the 4. And again, I'm not going to dock any points for having 3-star skills on a left back. But his passing ability, his through balls are fantastic. And R9's going to finish this one. Here we go. Oh, he's passed it round him. De Bruyne's going to deal with it. Can we find a little bit? Oh, that's a bit of heavy back heel. But I can imagine he is going to be a pretty good left wing back. He's going to be somebody who can get up and down the field. Obviously has all the stats for it. Plus then obviously the defensive ability as well, as he just rocks the ball off James. Oh, look at that dribbling. Just an absolutely pleasure of a card. And to be honest, these sorts of cards have been the revitalization. That's a stunner. The revitalization of this game for me. It got a bit stale with kind of like a +1, +2 upgrades, even team of the seasons with a +3, 4, maybe 5 at a push at some of the better players. But now we're getting +10s, +15s on players that literally were dead and buried in this game, are now so much better to try and have a go with. And yes, again, people will say it's August, it's September, whatever, but there's no other games to play. What on earth am I doing with that pass? But there's no other games to play, and more than likely we're going to get to FIFA 22 and it's just going to be a change again. And again, the best period of the game is the very start, so we'll be looking forward to that. But now I'm just enjoying the team that we've spent so many hours trying to play with. I think the big thing that Amavi is going to have to really kind of cope with is the fact we have got a lot of good players. We've had a Tellers, Futties, we've obviously had a Theo Hernandez team of the season. We've had a lot of good left backs, and not even kind of like just the generic kind of okay left backs. I'm talking very top tier left backs. We already had a Roberto Carlos, who to be honest has probably passed it in the team now, but most definitely if you look at the Theo Hernandez's, you look at obviously the Teller's, they are statted beyond all belief. But the one thing I do think with Amavi, good tackle, great interception, get him down a wing, let's try his crossing out. We've got plenty of space, we see that back post Kane, little dink in, and that's a solid pass. But I think, like I say, with Amavi, the best thing is with him is, I believe, oh my god, if we managed to get this off kickoff, the one thing is we're going to get more than likely a weekend league full of League One picks. That's going to be the next weekend league because we've had pretty much every other weekend league, so I can imagine that one's got to be next realistically. Amavi chasing Raul. Raul's not getting away. He even knows that. He knows he's going to take him, so he's had to kind of run away from him. Big header. Good. Takes out James. Doesn't necessarily win the header there. And that's going to be kind of like a lesser of a perk being 5'9", is the fact he's not going to necessarily win every single header, but his control, his ball control on the ground is absolutely phenomenal. Oh, he's going to be offside, but that would have been a cracking ball into Kane. Like I said, every single time this left wing back role is going to zoom to the ground, and this guy just does not know how to obviously counter a bit of an R9. Overlapping again. Bamba, get the little cheeky one in. Finds a bit of Kane. Can we get the flick right? And it's just going to be a cheeky little finesse. Bottom corner. Game's over, really. It'll be interesting, obviously, with Batch 3 to see who we actually get in terms of SBCs. I know we have got the likes of Sancho, Varane, who still are yet... Why is he moving the keeper away? Well, that was the easiest goal Amavi's going to score. But like I was saying, it's going to be interesting to see who they actually get next. I was kind of hoping they'll give us a PSG Messi. Whether they treat us that much is going to be an understatement, but would be nice if they did. Obviously, you've got Sancho, you've got Varane. There probably is still some big players that they've still got a big SBC for. I think Nani was potentially meant to be one, but again, I've not heard too much about that one. So it will be interesting to see who we could link him with. And I think with the weekend league being Ligue 1, we might get somebody there, which would be very interesting. Gets the ball into R9, who's going to get the header over Buffon and straight into the roof of the net. So going into Amavi's overall then. So let's have a look at the objectives. And I believe, like I said, you can do Tonali at the same time. So you've got to have 6 Ligue 1 play. I don't think you can. I think once you get past this one, what is it? 12 goals in Ligue 1. That's what it was. So you've got to have 6 Serie A, so obviously you can't do them together, but that is only 3 games and then 12 goals there. So once you've done that, I believe you can then actually do them both at the same time. Obviously, when it comes to the final one, like this one's got the assist through balls with Italian players in 9 separate, you've then got to do 8 with obviously French crosses. So it is very similar. So if you get rid of that one and obviously the CDM for Italy, you can then do these together. Other than that, probably you've done that one by now. Score 4 outside of the box, pretty simple. You can either go from a corner from your half, obviously give them a corner, counter, or you can just kind of go for it, really. Just keep shooting from outside the box. On professional, world class, eventually you're going to win. If you're playing against some of the bronze rated teams, you definitely can be able to do that. 12 goals with a minimum of 6 Ligue 1 players in your squad. And I think that's it. Just score 12. It doesn't matter who it is. Absolutely easy. Score using Ligue 1 players in 7 separate. Again, solid, absolutely simple. And then finally, assist crosses using French in 8 separate matches. I don't believe there was any wins. Yeah, you just got to play. Yeah, that's right. So you've just got to play the matches. There's no wins. You can obviously go and do your objective and leave it if you wanted to. But again, you may want to get the points for squad battles. You never know. 3 more packs. But in general, very simple. 8 games is the minimum. So it should be done within what? It takes about 20 minutes-ish to do a squad battles game, maybe 15. You're looking at about 2 hours for this grind. Pretty simple, to be honest. Hopefully you did enjoy, though. Let's go back into his overall. I think Amavi's, I think this is his highest rated card. Obviously, he did have a 86-foot birthday, which was kind of nice. But in terms of kind of him, this is his biggest card. This is the biggest Amavi card we've seen. In terms of Ligue 1 players, I think he's the highest rated left back. Obviously, you've got Enrique there. You've got Kazawa, who normally gets something big. But unfortunately, this year, it has kind of fallen to Amavi instead. Bernat, again, little bit lackluster, an 85 storyline, nothing too fancy, so Amavi is taking it. In terms of obviously French left backs, obviously kind of drilling it down a little bit, then we've got some competition. You've got your Theo Hernandez's, the Dignes, the Ros Leons, the Mendes. There is some very big names there. I think Amavi only trumps them mainly because of the objective. It's not an SBC, you don't have to pay for him. Mendy obviously was absolutely nuts back in the day, but I think even him now has kind of passed it. I think his only competition really is probably these two. I did like Rosaleon, but I think at this point in the game, these two would be obviously Amavi's competition, and you've got to pay for them. Obviously he was an SBC, but especially Theo, cracking, absolutely cracking card. But Amavi for me just nicks it in terms of his defensive ability. I think Theo for me has, it's hard to explain for me, it's got better animations, he's just better on the ball, whereas I think Amavi definitely has that trumped with the defensive ability and that 5-star weak foot. Overall wise for me, I think yes, he's worth the grind. Pretty much most of these players that come in objectives are going to be worth it, because even if you don't want to use him or don't want him in your club, he is free fodder. A 94 rated fodder is very hard to come by, and really can just help an SBC. We've got loads of them out there. If you're doing icons, if you're doing the likes of Depay or any of the other big boys, Aubameyang, they're going to be needed to be able to do them SBCs. Amavi for me, cracking card. If I was to give him a rating, I would go 9.6. I still think there is little tweaks to him. Obviously the 4-star skills would have been a nice one to have, but I can't dock a point for that. And I do think in general, it's mainly the size of him. I feel like maybe just that 5'11". 6 foot's probably a bit much. I think 5'11's the sweet spot for, personally, from what I found with a left back with all of these stats. So hopefully you did enjoy the video. Let me know down below what you think about Amavi and if you are going to grind to get him. And apart from that, subscribe, like. Pieces.